Back to another episode of AF Farms on No Man's Land. So, last episode we finished shaping our fields, as you can see here. We've put some roads in, we've fixed up some of the landscaping around some of the edges of the fields, made them nice and wide. We've reduced our farming area a little bit, however, overall, the fields are quite big, so still. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn seasons on, and we're going to start playing with seasonal growth. So I'm going to turn that on. Seasonal growth, yes. We're going to put snow on. Crop destruction off. Ploughing off. Fieldstone off. Weeds off for the moment. So we're just going to start adding a little bit more of the base game elements. So normally I don't play with seasons on, but we've got seasons, we've got precision farming, so it's just going to give us a little bit more depth to the gameplay. And having the snow will be, and the visual changes throughout the year as well will be quite nice. So let's get those activated. And it is November in game. So next time that I sleep, that should activate seasons. So I just want to make sure that I've got 1 day a month. Yep, so I want a 1 day a month, which is fine. So set the number of days per month. Changes will take effect in the next season. So it sounds as though that if we sleep now, wake up for the next day, that will put us into winter. So let's see what happens. Now I don't think I have a sleep trigger near the shop anymore, so I may have to just drive back there. Yes, I'll just drive over there. And if it is snowing, the first job is going to be to remove this farmhouse. So I'm really looking forward to trying out this new field design. I mean, they are still quite big, but with the crop calendar the way it is, not everything's going to be harvested at the same time, and not everything's going to be planted at the same time. So that's really my thought process there. It just sort of spreads out the harvests over a longer period. So let's see what happens here. Rather than just farming the same big area over and over again, which takes about 2.5 hours to get a harvest in, which is a long time. Alright, so it looks like it should be December. Now let's have a look if we've got the... Actually, let's quickly check the equipment. So we've got a skid steer and a logging truck, which I'm not really interested in. Now we should have a crop calendar, which we do. So here we go. December and January, we are in winter. So it looks like our planting season for oat so we can't plant wheat and barley until... So we can plant oats soon. What else can we plant? Soybeans, we can plant them in April. Canola, August. So let's have a look at what we're going to plant. So we're going to obviously focus on the grains. So we've got wheat, barley, canola, so oat. We've got corn, we've got sunflowers, we've got soybeans. So we might have to... I don't know if we're going to be able to use all these fields at once. So we might... Oh yeah, sorghum in April. Cool. Alright, so that gives us a bit of an idea. How cool does this look? Alright, let's check the shop. We've already done that. Look, I don't know if there's really much point doing anything at this stage. I mean, I could cultivate, but I've got direct drills, so I'm not too worried about that. I do want to try out the roller. As you can see, we did have wheat in there. Oh, I would like to try and fix up that corner, actually. Oh yeah, that's right, I did plough that with the plough state tool, so that should be fine. Alright, I'm just going to sleep for one more day. Maybe we'll get some snow. Okay, so middle of January, not much doing. Nothing I really want to purchase. Let's have a look at our menu. So January, we can't plant anything. So let's go ahead and sleep again. So I'm also not getting that sort of passive income from sleeping anymore, so I do have to be mindful of this, what I'm going to buy and lease. Obviously we're sitting on quite a few days worth of grain there. So that's one other thing too, I should look at getting the grain mill back up and running. Here we go, February. Nothing doing. Alright, so planting season for cotton. February, March. So March is going to be oat. And that's it. So if I'm reading that correctly. So when's the harvest season for wheat and barley? Maybe it doesn't show you until it's in the ground. Unless it takes a full 12 months for it to cycle through. So let's see what happens. We'll sleep. We'll go for another sleep. Go to March and see what we come up with. So we should be able to get some oats in the ground, at least, if it's not snowing. Which it looks like it is. I guess we'll soon find out. Okay, so we've got snow. Okay, so what does this mean? Can we do any work? Let's have a look. So we can plant the oats. We can, I think we can plant sunflowers. Okay, let's try and get some oats in the ground. So we've got oat. Got a bit of grass involved on the snow, a bit of snow on the grass. I possibly should have repaired this, but too late now. And look, what we might do is we might expand our crop So obviously we've been focusing on grains up until this point, but we might branch out into some other crops just to get a bit more interest. Alright, so just before I line this up, I just want to jump out and check the... That's not lined up correctly anyway. Let's go over this way a little bit more. Okay, so it says it needs rolling, so we're going to roll it after we plant it as well. So let's see if we can plant oats. Yes, we can. Excellent. Jump out of here. Cool. Alright. Excellent. So, I'm going to get another seeder underway. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on... So I'll just double check that's all we can plant at the moment. So we've got oats. We've got sorghum next month. Poplars. Righto. I'm also going to turn weeds on because I want to use the sprayers. So that's the Rubicon, the big 50-meter sprayer. I used to use that quite a lot. What I'll do, I've got to smooth out this area too, get rid of that hill a little bit. Actually, I'll keep the hill. I just want to straighten up the edges. Make sure I've got oats selected. So I'm really excited to see how this farm continues to take shape. So, okay, let's make sure he's getting the whole field. Got oats, excellent. Alright, so which field are we going to send this guy to? So we'll do, we'll call this field 1 over here. So we'll get him to throw some oats in there. And I may end up cutting back on my fleet of seeders as well. If we don't need this many to seed such a large area, kind of makes sense that we can utilize less equipment. Now, so I wouldn't be driving like this if there was crops there, because they'd just be wiping them out. Okay, let's line this fella up. Make sure we're on oats. Hire our worker. Make sure we're getting all that area. Okay, so 3 fields of oats so far. Let's have a look at our calendar. Because we're going to have possibly sunflowers and sorghum, so we'll do a big batch of sorghum. Canola is in August. Look, we might do a fourth field. I'll get in the 9RX here. I reckon we might do 4 fields of oats. So where's this fella gonna go? I reckon let's do this one here. Actually, while we're on the way through, so you got to drive all the way in to get the trigger. Okay, so repair that for 13,000, repair that for 16,000, repair that for 13. Some of this must be pretty new. Oh no, I must have repaired it before. So you notice I got rid of all my road trains. I will get them back. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do there yet. Whether I'm going to run B doubles or just the single. So it's pretty cool how that crop looks frosty. So one thing we may run into is equipment running into each other when they're trying to turn around at opposite ends of the field. So hopefully we don't get that too often, but it is a possibility. So alright, let's change that to, let's see if I can actually plant wheat. See if it'll let me. This fruit cannot be planted in March. Okay, cool. So it doesn't let you. That's good. We're doing oats. There we go. So I'll just let those guys do their thing. I might actually get I'll get a second seeder underway in that big field because it will take longer. Give it the big bud. So I think we've still got, yeah, we do have one more air cart sitting there. So I think in total we've got 5. I did get rid of 1. So the thing with those wide roads is they should be wide enough on the wider setting to accommodate the triple wheel Big Bud, because that's basically the widest tractor in the game at the moment. So if we did have crop destruction turned on, you'll have sufficient clearance to drive in the fields. Which it looks like this is nice and wide, which is great. So what I'll do is, because this field's got a slight angle on it, I may actually end up getting rid of this angle altogether. But I'll just drive it up to the highest point here, and the seeder will, yeah, it'll naturally come back and forth, hit all those areas. So if we just go through here like that. So we want to start it sort of, so it picks up that corner. So we'll see what happens here. It may just be a bit of a pain, but it just means this field will get reduced in size again, which I'm, you know, fine with if it works out that way. Okay, good stuff. Cool, looking good. How are we progressing? Alright, so while those guys are seeding away, this will be good. This is where I need to make sure my maintenance is on point. I want to go to the shop because there's a new mod out. Let's check the used equipment. Oh yeah, we've already done that. So it's a roller. So it's a 3-in-1 roller. If I can find the rollers. Here we go. So it's the Lizard Mega Multi-Roll. So it'll do... So this one... So what does a field roller do? Mulching roller, field roller, grass roller. Ah, okay. So you can configure it. So I'm just going to use it as a field roller. I will lease one initially. And I will buy a JCB Fast Track because I sold my old one. Actually, I'm going to lease this because it's 300,000. So if I see a cheap one come up in the used, I'll get that. I'll just go with the Trollborgs. Main reason why I like the JCB is because of how fast it is. Very, very handy. Especially for getting things to and from the shop. So basically, once we planted the crop, if we roll it, we get a 5% yield bonus. So we also need to do lime as well. So that's going to be something that we need to figure out how we can get into the rotation. Might just test out if I can throw the lime down now and then roll it and see what happens. It's a pretty cool looking roller too, isn't it? So what I might just do a quick little test run on this patch over here. Now this spreader does like 45 meters in a single pass, so okay, so if we look at the pH is bad. Okay, so we'll see what happens after I've just done that. Okay, so it does bring up the pH after before we've rolled. So if I go and get the roller now, I just want to see I know this guy doesn't have the horsepower requirements, but let's unfold it. Pretty big, eh? Look at that. Now, it shouldn't do anything until I interact with the field. So let's see what happens here. So it's just going to stay there. Alright. So has it? So it's basically neutralized our pH, which is interesting. So here it's perfect. Oh no. So we've got seed bed, we've got perfect lime and nitrogen. This area here has been rolled, but I haven't put the other stuff down the lime. Okay, so that's good. So that'll work. So the fertilizer spreader, I don't think it has a horsepower requirement actually. So this will do 42 meters, so that's good. Now let's see what happens if we throw some lime down. So I just want to get this guy over here. So he's doing the whole field, which is good. I want to see what the lime state is. So I'll get him to do just this pass. Okay, all done. So So I just want to see what the ground state is. So here we are, we're perfect. This is where we harvested last time. Okay, so that's saying bad pH. And then this is saying good pH. Alright, so let's see what happens once we continue. So I'm just trying to figure out if I need to lime before or after to get the benefit. So I'll let this guy do his thing. I'm going to have to move my... So that's looking pretty good. I think that's looking... Yeah, okay, so I can basically lime all the fields, regardless of what stage the... That's excellent, that's really good. So we use this fella. So I'm just going to focus on getting these fields limed. And then in between the months where I can't grow anything, okay, so why is this guy not doing anything? Let's try this again. Oh, probably got 6 workers going, haven't I? Yep, that's why. So I just want to double check this again. So we've got... So I wonder why the pH has not worked there. Whereas here, it's worked perfectly. That's interesting. That worker has started on this field and then moved over. So where's my lime indicator? Doesn't say. It'd be good to see if this guy actually does the proper width as well. As you can see here, he's thrown out probably 5 meters of extra width that is doing nothing, so as long as we're getting the right states out of it, I'm not really too worried. Alright, we'll leave it there for this video. I'll let these guys do their thing and we'll pick it up in the next one. Thanks for watching and have a great day.